They were rivals, the Sultan of Malindi and the Sultans of Mozambique and Mombasa, and that worked in Vasco's favor. The Sultan of Malindi welcomed Vasco with a gift of 3 sheep and permission to come ashore in order to win Portuguese favor. But given the experience with African sultans so far, Vasco politely refused to come on shore and invited the Sultan on board. The Sultan of Malindi made a grand visit to the ships and helped Vasco secure a pilot who knew the way to India, a pilot called Malemo Kanaka. Guided by Malemo Kanaka, Vasco embarked on the final leg of his journey to India. It was the month of May, which meant that soon the summer season would end and monsoon would arrive in India. The monsoon winds and Vasco were travelling together to India over the Indian Ocean. These monsoon winds filled the sails of Vasco's ships and made the sailing easier. Finally, on the 20th of May 1498, 10 months after leaving home, and after Malemo Kanaka confirmed that indeed the land they were looking at was India, Vasco da Gama dropped anchors at Kapad near Kozhikode or Calicut in India. It was a moment of joy and relief for Vasco. The local ruler in Kozhikode, the Samudri Raja, received Vasco with much honor, sending a palki and hundreds of nayars to welcome Vasco. But the Raja, whose body was covered with gold and gems and who sat on a golden throne, was even more unimpressed with Portuguese goods than the Sultan in Mozambique. Well, the trade may not have gone so well, but Vasco da Gama had more than succeeded in finding a sea route from Europe to India, in opening the gates for the Dutch, the French, and ultimately the British to trade with India, and in completing a journey that paved the way for many more journeys like his. He had braved the unknown, fought with tribals, been mistaken for a pirate, and also met some good people on the way. He had embarked on an adventure that put his names in history books as Vasco da Gama, the explorer who succeeded in the search for India. That brings us to the end of our Indian Independence Day special 5-part series In Search of India. The story of a journey that led to the ultimate colonization of India and the Indian freedom struggle. We hope you enjoyed this StoRyvival and will be back soon for more.